It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's time to take another viral topic off the record. I could have done that better. Off the record. No, it's not that hectic or crazy. We're going to have a lot of fun with this one. Today, we are looking at one of America's sweethearts, Paris Hilton. She recently released Paris, the Memoir, and dropped the trailer for her documentary as well, which speaks about her journey through self-acceptance and how she opens up about trauma. And to help us unpack this conversation, we have media personality Carissa Capito, entertainer and a queen, Manila Von Teese, as well as social media influencer Tara Cannon. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, a great opportunity to have a good conversation. I think we all need. Let's dive straight into it, Carissa. Let me just firstly talk about what is actually happening right now and what Paris Hilton is gone through, what she's been through, and maybe you can give insight into why you possibly think she's actually doing this in the first place. Why is she deciding to tell her story from her perspective, from her side? What's the reason for that, you think?
Absolutely. I thought it was quite interesting to see Paris in this light. I mean, she's now 40 plus years old, but we know her from the 90s of being the it girl, the OG influencer, you know?
Yeah, she really was.
Before all of us were here. She really set the standard. We know her from the show she had with Nicole Richie as well throughout the ages. And I think for the longest time, because she is a child of a billionaire, I mean, her great-grandfather created and started the Hilton Hotels. So I think for the longest time, her story was almost told for her, and she was seen in a very particular light. And we didn't know all the trauma that she went through. I didn't even know she had ADHD until she came out with this book and became more open about it. So I think she just decided that I want to tell the story in my own light, and people know me as this perfect figure, but I am very far from it. I actually was bullied when I was a teenager, and now I'm an advocate for others that have gone through the same thing. Also, my ADHD is a superpower, so let's talk about that and mental health. I thought it was quite refreshing to see that too.
Well, it's there are a lot of people who are going to be able to identify and connect when they 100%. Hear that term that they've been painted with, like ADHD. Suddenly it makes it easier for them to find their place in the world. But let's hear directly from Paris herself.
Paris, how you doing? Paris, can we get a picture, please? Marge out here, Paris, can we get a picture?
I am so much more than what you've seen. And now I'm finally sharing all sides of me, even the parts that don't conveniently fit other people's narratives. I am a sparkly pink mirage. I am a facilitator of good times. I am a survivor. I am the mother of the selfie. I, like anyone, am undefinable. Not just one thing, but all the things. And I am finally sharing my story. This is who I am.
Stay forever. You know more than anyone.
And let's hope it gets traction. I mean, let's hope it gets traction. So she spoke about a fellow celebrity that kind of prompted her to speak her truth. Do you know any more background as to who would have inspired that or what?
Yeah, Demi Lovato, who also in her own right has come forward as the picture of self-acceptance. It's been incredible to watch her journey from being a child star to where she is now, and the transformations she has gone under, the scrutiny, the public scrutiny that's happened to her. And I think, you know, there's this saying that goes, when you shine your light, you almost inspire others to do the same. And I think Paris saw something in a vulnerability and decided, hey, I can tell my truth too.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Now, speaking of some, like, I think this ties into this whole notion of like self-discovery. Self-acceptance it's vital for us to live an authentic and true life. Manila, maybe I can lead this one your way, because you're literally someone that is embodying that to the fullest. It's like every day you wake up, you're celebrating who you are.
Exactly.
Why is the self-acceptance so important? And then what is the result for your self-acceptance been?
Well, I think for me, self-acceptance didn't come just by walking past the door. It was a long process for me, especially when you grow up in a colored environment. You're always picked on for your insecurities. So
100%.
I was definitely called Lipper because, for obvious reasons. But now it's something that I celebrate because it's something that I'm known for. And also all those kind of things, there's a lot of facets to ourselves. And accepting all of those facets can come to a wholesome being that kind of lives in their truth every single day, whether I have put on makeup, whether I'm not, when I'm not my normal self, then I realize, you know what? You are because you are who you are. And if you are in drag or if you're not in drag, or if you're at work, or you're at home, with family or not with friends, you always have to showcase that true self.
So true. And I just want to say, like, look where Lippa is now. It's one of your best features. It is honestly one of your best features.
I know. That's the thing. I'd always say, all those kind of things accumulated to who you are as a person today. And you could never, like, say, okay, fine, why did I go through this? Why did I go through that? If you just find the strength in those little things, you will come out powerful.
Those are the building blocks. That's literally how you build yourself up. Paris shared this on her account with the hashtag #ThisIsWhoIam, which encouraged people to embrace every part of themselves. So let's take a little gander now at some of the other celebrities who jumped on board.
I am a woman whose story doesn't fit into a tiny box.
I am someone who really cares about all of us taking care of each other.
I'm a friend, I'm a wife, a daughter, a sister.
I am an advocate for mental health.
I am someone who knows that pretty girls can be smart and smart girls can be pretty.
I'm someone who's not afraid to move mountains to help another woman be successful.
I am a singer-songwriter with body dysmorphia.
I am an influencer who is terrified of social media.
I am a reader.
I am a confusing and beautiful mix of contradictions.
I am resilient.
I am 10-year-old me's dream woman.
I am smart. I am talented. I am a little bit of a hoarder.
I am definitely an introvert that has made a career out of being an extrovert.
I'm a knitter. I'm a crocheter.
I am an old lady, but I'm okay with it.
I'm an advocate for change.
I am a woman who is constantly in pursuit of her better self.
And I'm a comedian, a con artist,
a CEO, a yogi.
I am exhausted.
I am a sexual assault survivor, and I'm healing, and I'm helping other people heal.
I am Paris, and I'm finally telling my story.
Refreshing.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Tora, are you buying this? It feels like a wonderful pushback to so much of the negative nonsense that we unfortunately consume via social media platforms that I don't think we even know informs our self-dialogue, how we talk to ourselves, how we see each other, how we see ourselves. Is this the right kind of thing? Is this gratuitous to you? Is this just a bunch of happy, wealthy, good-looking people telling the rest of the world how happy, healthy, and good-looking they are? Is the vulnerability there? We talk about some of the personal journeys that some of these young stars have been through, dealing with addiction, dealing with some monsters. Is this to offset that, or is this just a great PR campaign? Put it into perspective for us.
Look, everything's a trend. There's always trends. So for me, I really think that this is actually authentic. I really think it's authentic. I think people are stepping into themselves. They are becoming okay with being themselves. They are setting the trends for others, you know what I mean? Like, if you see somebody who's got the same kind of skin as you, same hair as you, same, you know, they're the same as you, and you see them being authentic, that's encouraging to you as someone who's sitting at home, who's scared to say what they want to say, scared to be who they want to be. So I think this trend is actually, whoever started it is setting the trend, and it's definitely a ripple effect. It's continuing.
Yeah, and it's going to be there. It's going to be on people's timelines every day now, because there was a collective following of about 500 billion people. You look at the celebrities that are latching onto that. That's reach.
And that's something I want to maybe tie into, because, I mean, obviously, with all this happening, obviously, followers are paying attention. Followers are taking note of this. Is this opening up a positive roadway for the followers that are following all this action, all this, for lack of a better term, trend? Is this something that is going to have a positive impact on the people that are watching this right now, do you think?
Positive and negative, because look, with all the positive, there's definitely a lot of negative, because there's like, people obviously have negative outlooks, and this is the truth. So your truth is never always happy. It's never always as good.
There's
an ugly truth as well. So with the positive comes a lot of negativity as well. So,
and I think with social media also, you have a lot of people now that's being actually real on social media. So this whole facade that Hollywood or celebrityism that created is actually gone or is dissipating. So now you actually have to show your real self in order for you to actually connect with your audience.
And that's a good trend. If it was a trend, I'm here for it, right?
It's almost like the influencing is coming full circle now. Where just when we thought it was about to collapse under the weight of its own nonsense, now you start to see these pockets of authenticity, of the individuals, of representation. And in our job, I think that has probably been the most powerful shift in the world's psyche, is the fact that everyone is digitally connected now and they can see themselves doing something else somewhere else. And that is the switch that's been flicked. What does it mean to you, though? We'd love to hear from you this morning. 063-408-8863. We are talking about self-acceptance, very much spawned by what Paris Hilton has been doing with the release of her book and this movement. And she shared an excerpt from that memoir, and it reads as this: "The people who you hurt don't get the last word. You get to tell the story of you and your story, and that has more power than you can imagine." Regardless of how you feel about Paris Hilton, that kind of statement, that kind of message in the social media space is powerful, and we need to hear more of that. But we are going to continue this discussion off the record, which I have a feeling might be a little bit on the record because it's on live TV in just a moment. We'll see now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to our off-the-record chat. And today we are talking about self-acceptance. And a little bit earlier, we spoke about a fan favorite, undoubtedly Paris Hilton, who has bared herself to the world for the first time, speaking about her traumas and how she learned to accept every part of herself, good and bad. And to help us unpack this conversation, we have got media personality Carissa Capito, entertainer and a queen, Manila Von Teese, and social media influencer and mom, Tara Cannon. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around. This is such an interesting chat because it's forcing us to kind of hold up a mirror and understand ourselves and embrace what that identity is. But it becomes so complicated because we've got energies coming from popular thought, from pop culture of what we should be acting like, the people that we look up to. Then you've got childhood trauma, which pretty much paints your life path for you in those first few years. Now, you've got to try to find your way to your true self in the midst of all of this craziness. How important is it to have media personalities like this, people who sit in these very visual places, just going through that process, whether they find that truth or not, just by starting that conversation? Why is this so important, do you think?
Oh my goodness, it's absolutely important. I think that, like you said, we grow up with all these ideas of what it is to be you. And although I do think self-acceptance comes from within, it does help to have other figures out there to just say that, you know, who you are can also be, to Tara's point, the ugly parts of who you are.
You've got to assimilate that.
You have to. It's not just the good parts. It's not just, oh, I'm cute and quirky and that's me. No, it's the truth of who you are. Holding up that mirror, to your point too, to say that this is my authentic truth. And like you said, we've had so many celebrities do this. Demi Lovato with her drug addiction that she was very open about. She didn't have to be, but there's so many people's lives that she saved through her telling her real, true story. So I think we almost have a responsibility as media personalities.
And I think it's a two-way flow because it's given her purpose. Just like you can see, it's given Paris now, starting this, has given her a purpose and in a beautiful direction. Let more celebrities drive that kind of narrative. Tara, as a mom and an influencer, when we talk about being authentic, I mean, your little one, who's absolutely gorgeous, is going to see everything at some point. It's going to know this phase of your life. It's going to see it there. How important is it for you to represent both of you now authentically in this space?
It's so important because for my little girl as well, that's something I want her to see when she's growing up. When I was growing up, I didn't see anything like that. There was no positive, like, you know, raw, authentic personality like that. It was all a facade. It was all perfect. Your makeup must be perfect like that. So growing up, like now, like my kids, I want them to see that so that they can be themselves. They can be, you know, authentic and not scared of anything.
And unfortunately, you can't tell kids this. You have to show them. You've got to repeatedly show them by living that truth. And I ask this of all of my wonderful guests because I'm so, and maybe it speaks to my own journey of trying to find self-acceptance, and what a joy that I get to share perspectives like this every morning. Was there a moment, Manila, was there a tipping point? Was there one moment too many of having your face pushed down into the dirt. What was it that allowed you to do this and be yourself?
Well, I think for me, it's been quite a journey because I think through drag, I kind of found myself. And because I realized it takes a man to be a drag queen.
Yeah.
A real man to be a drag queen. And it was more that I went through my journey of doing drag and also get acceptance from my family, as well as me fully accepting who I was, that I came to have that self-love that I probably desire everyone to have.
Because I suppose the danger is you are so much more than being the artist on a stage.
Yeah.
And while, yes, that gives other people context and a way, a language to be able to start to relate to you, that's not who you are.
Well,
That's
it's a
not
facet
your...
of me.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's one lens to look through. And I think we far too often, we look through one lens at ourselves with a lot of judgment around that. Please, now that we've got a few lenses on you, can you stand up and walk us through this exquisite...
Well, this is the all-inclusive pride flag. I thought, well, if I'm going to represent, I might just represent everyone. And I just thought, just do something subtle for the daytime.
And I like the fact that you didn't wear much makeup either. You just kept it low-key.
and mascara. Just chapstick
So you are
and
wearing
mascara.
something at least.
Just something. You know, for the moisture of the lips, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, we laugh about this because we can, because we've walked part of this journey with you, but how important it is for other young people to see this right
Well, it literally comes down to that I never had people that I looked up to on social media wasn't around when I grew up. Facebook was there. But I never saw people on TV that I could relate to or resemble who I wanted to be or am. And that's why I always push wherever I go to be visible, to present to the best of my ability, because I want to showcase my whole community always and always make them proud in a sense, so that they are children that grow up. That grow up, they can see, oh, I identify with that. I see myself in that person. So.
Well, here's the thing, and how representation works. It's not for the 9 people who don't care. It's for the one person who does.
Yep.
Okay, that's how it works. Simple equation. If you're not one of the 1, if you're the 9, doesn't matter. Move on.
Just accept
I get that. Yeah, accept it. Accept yourself. Let's flip the scripture. Who are you? Tell me who you are, if you can. Inspired by Paris, use this opportunity to tell me who you are. Warts and all.
I am authentically comfortable.
I like that. You made me more comfortable hearing that. Manila, dare I ask?
I am completely content with who I am.
That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful to hear.
No pressure. I mean, I've got a few. I think that I am ambitious, I'm a go-getter, I'm also super sensitive, and just a lover of life, really.
I'm a little bit of everything that you said. Ultimately, I just want people to feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
I think at its heart, that's what we're all about here. And certainly what these last few moments have been about. Thank you, guys, for working the hard yards of this ugly journey to get to a point where you can smile about it and keep doing what you do every day, because clearly you are influencing in the right way. I am having my perspective shifted dramatically on what it means to be an influencer, to plug into social media, to have this daily, almost real-time connection with fans. So if you are in a position to do this, to show self-acceptance, find a way to do it today. Not for the 9 who don't matter, for the 1 who really does care. Please do it today.